More on this verdict. Let's bring in criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor Bernarda Villalona. Thank you so much for joining us. Okay, so $5 million gets awarded to E. Jean Carroll. How significant do you think this is, especially considering he's a former president?
So this is a significant win for E. Jean Carroll. One for her is vindication. Finally, she feels vindicated that this man was defaming her for all these years and saying that this is a hoax, that she's crazy, that she's making this up. So for her, a personal huge victory, but also another victory in terms of the Me Too movement, but also third, another victory because you're talking about the former president, a person who has said he is the Teflon Don, that he can get away with anything and everything. And here you have it. The Southern District of New York, a jury of your peers has said and found you liable for defamation and battery.
So liable for battery and defamation, but not of rape. Why do you think the jury came to that conclusion, and why the distinction?
Well, it doesn't really even make any sense in the sense of is it a big deal? It's not a big deal because we're talking about a civil case as opposed to a criminal case. Either way, in this civil case where the burden is completely different than a criminal case, a jury still found that Donald Trump, that he had contact, sexual contact with the private area of Miss E. Jean Carroll. So whether it's rape is different in the sense of there has to be penetration of his penis in order to find him liable for rape itself. But either way, they found a battery. And what I think really did him in is, number one, his statement, the Access Hollywood statement, where I can grab him by the pocketbook. That right there is sexual assault. And also the two other victims that came forward and said that they also had a sexual encounter that's similar to that of E. Jean Carroll. And taking those two into account is what led this jury to find him liable on the battery, having to deal with the sexual assault and the defamation charge.
Of course, Trump decided not to even show up, decided not to testify. How damning do you think that was?
I think that played a huge role. You got to think with Donald Trump not even showing up for your own trial plays a role in human beings, in the citizens. Like, look, this is your own case and you don't really think much of it. And let's just be clear, he doesn't have to show up. This is a civil case, so he chose not to show up. But he did show up in the sense of his deposition was played in the courtroom. And that's all the jury needed to see, his reaction when he was confronted with the Access Hollywood video, as well as the photograph where you have E. Jean Carroll in the photograph and he mistakes it for his wife when he said, oh, no, she's not my type. But hey, you just said, oh, no, that's Marla, and Marla's the marrying type.
So now we've already heard from Trump's team that they plan to appeal. What are the chances that E. Jean Carroll ever sees this $5 million, or will this just continue to stay locked up and litigated?
This is going to be a long time before E. Jean Carroll sees any money in this case, because an appeal can take many years. It's not something that is quick. And you know, with Donald Trump is definitely going to fight this until the bitter end. And his team has already said that. So in terms of grounds for an appeal, I think one of the grounds is, one, the Access Hollywood tape being allowed into evidence. Second is those other two victims that were allowed to testify about something that had nothing to do with E. Jean Carroll. But let's just be clear, any objection that Mr. Tacopino or that team made and wasn't ruled on in their favor is grounds for an appeal. Doesn't mean that he'll be successful on an appeal.
Bernarda Villalona, we thank you so much for your time and insight.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.